VT as a team, we really feel confident going into MLG Dallas. We really want to, use this as an opportunity to show where we stand in the North American scene. MLG is one of those tournaments where not always the favorites win and not every best player from the world comes out for. So I think it's a great chance for us to show what we can do. Um, I don't expect to win. That's not really my goal, but my goal is to surprise people. I really want to win a match that people think I shouldn't win. Overall, I'd really love to at least get top 32, preferably top 16, since top 32 is pretty much top 16 because of how the seeding works. So top 16, I would say, is my pretty much what I'd be happy with. But I really want to surprise people. That's what I
Yeah,
want to do.
that definitely sounds great. Being, the player who causes an upset, I would be down for that. Now, MLG, we know you're playing in that, but what other tournaments do we see Pokebunny being in the future?
Ooh, um, anything that shows up. I'm definitely. I should be attending every MLG this year, so you should see me more past Dallas. As far as other tournaments, I mean, pretty much every major tournament that I can get into, I would love to play. Smaller tournaments I do play sometimes, not totally often. There are no, I hope to get an NASL at some point. I don't think it's going to happen for a season, but I would love to play in it. Um, I mean, nothing special here. I just hope to continue performing in clan leagues and then playing every tournament that is significant.
Keep bringing up these segues here that will bring up perfect questions, but we're going to stay on this topic for now. What about foreign tournaments such as DreamHack? Do you plan on, wanting to go, out of the United States to one of these tournaments soon?
In my current state, I don't feel it'd be worth it to leave the U.S. DreamHack, I mean, the biggest DreamHack event is in the fall or winter, so, we'll see where I am at that point. But in my current state, with our current sponsorship level as well, I don't think European tournaments are on our mind for this moment. We will definitely consider them in the near future, though, depending on how we do. I think we really feel like we have to show that we can perform in the North American scene before really, traveling too much. Especially since Europe would be a very big commitment, especially if it was for me during the school year.
Yeah, definitely. Back to MLG. So you said you plan on going to all the MLGs, which is awesome. I will be going to MLG Anaheim, so hopefully, I'll be able to get your autograph while we're there. But is VT going to these as a, team, or are you going by yourself and then, some of your VT partners are going to these as well with you?
Um, we are going as a team, I would say. Most of the players will be rooming with teammates and stuff, and we'll definitely, be talking a lot and hoping to, do well as a team. We really want to show overall a strong performance. We've probably got, I think, 5 people going to Dallas. Not 100% sure about that, but I think it's 5. It's at least 4. I know 4 for sure. I think a 5th also. Um, but yeah, we're definitely, hoping to perform well overall. I'm really hoping my teammate, if we all show strong performances, I think that will really make people think better of us rather than, if one player has a decent run but then, doesn't accomplish anything. I think if we all do decent, at least, we'll be pretty satisfied.
That's a good answer. I enjoyed it. So back to PAX East. I know you're at PAX East. I listened to the state of the game there, and they gave you a little shout out in the crowd. In general, how was PAX East?
PAX East was absolutely fantastic. I went last year with my dad and my brother. Went this year again with my dad and my brother. It was really fun. A lot more StarCraft 2 stuff this time around, so that was cool. A lot more StarCraft 2 people. In Control, Day 9, JP, Husky, DJ Wheat are all fantastic people. The Gun Run was there as well as other TL community members like Slasher and not Slasher, Slasher. It's a different person, but yeah, people mix them up a lot. So, but yeah, it was really fun. There was a lot to see. There's no way you could do everything at PAX, even in a weekend. Like, there's so much stuff to do. I was never really bored, and I played a bunch of StarCraft 2 and got a bunch of hardware, so it was cool.
Speaking about playing StarCraft 2 at PAX East, you beat In Control. I don't know if any of the replays surfaced on the internet yet. I haven't seen any of them, but a lot of people want you to walk you through the game you played through in Control. Just really brief and quick, like what went on and how you feel about beating in Control.
Um, personally, that game was not too significant to me. It was, just a fun game at his booth. The lag was pretty bad, to be honest. The wireless there was I think the computers there were connected to wireless, and it was, there was a ton of computers in there connected to the same internet, and so overall, it was not the best game. I played him other times as well, and we've we've both won games, but overall, it was a pretty normal game. I just opened 2x expand, did a little pressure, expanded before him, and then did a double drop and attack, and the lag was just pretty bad. So he wasn't able to deal with it or force field as well as he would like to, especially his force field could tell suffered a lot. So I wouldn't take that as oh, I'm better than him. He played well considering the situation, and I was able to be okay with the lag better than him. So, I wouldn't say it's like a significant thing to make any skill assumptions from.
Well said, well said. Now, we're starting to get all over the place here, so I'm trying to get back to the beginning of the question lineup. Age is probably a huge topic surrounding you since you are a young professional player. And I know you get asked all the time, what's it like being a 15-year-old StarCraft 2 player? So we're going to skip that question. But how do your friends at school and, your like actual buddies react when they hear you are making a name for yourself in the professional gaming world?
People do know about it. I've posted on Facebook and stuff about when I do stuff in tournaments or whatever. So my friends are definitely aware. It's usually either positive or not caring. Like, some people think it's really cool. They're like, that's awesome that you're that good. Are you gonna go to Korea? Are you gonna be fruit dealer? I'm like, no, but I'm just playing for fun and getting good on the way. But so far the reaction from most people, who know what StarCraft is, has been positive, and the rest don't really care that much.
Right.
They're just like, oh, that's cool,
All right, cool. Next question. After you graduate high school, do you plan on pursuing professional gaming, or do you have different plans for your future?
That is an impossible question to answer right now. It's still 2 years and 3 months until that happens, so I cannot give you an answer on that. But in my mind right now, I'm thinking I'm definitely going to go to college at some point for sure. I'm not going to avoid that for too long, hopefully. But if I am succeeding in professional gaming near the end of high school, if I'm in my senior year and going strong and getting better, and I still feel like I, have a good shot at professional gaming, I would definitely consider delaying college a year or two, just to see how well I can do while I still have the chance. But I don't plan on doing it forever. I really want to keep my options open as far as life. I'd love to do it for as long as possible, but realistically, I don't think it will last me forever. So I gotta,
right.
keep other plans in mind.
Awesome. That's a really good answer. Now, this is a quote from Wikipedia. Despite strong...
Is it the one about banelings and tanks? No, don't.
Yes,
I'm not going to
yes.
talk
You don't
about
want to talk about that.
No, it's kind of an inside joke and kind of true. I guess I'll talk about it. So there was this SGL match against some random team. I forget who. I 2-killed them, and I was on my third game. It was SCL, whatever. And I was playing a TVZ on Scrap Station, and I basically harassed the hell out of him with Hellions and Marines and a Medevac, and I was so far ahead. Then I attacked with like 20 Marines and a couple tanks, and he had like 20 Lings and 3 Banelings, and I literally lost like 20 Marines to 3 Banelings, and I ended up losing because he just spammed Lings and just killed me. It was really dumb. And I basically lost the game by losing 20 Marines to 3 Banelings in an engagement that was really dumb. The tank one is just generally I've not been great at TVT and sometimes make mistakes. And then I believe there's one about leaving empty bases.
Yeah, I didn't quite get that one.
That was from an in-clan tournament. We had I basically pressured a Protoss, and he backed off entirely from his ramp, and I had like 5 Marauders and 4 Marines, and I just left. And people were saying, oh, you could have just won the game right there. I ended up winning the game, but people thought it was funny that I just left a base that looked like it had nothing in it. And I had a legitimate reason for it, but people still, when Warp Gate's finished for Protoss, right? Like, you really don't know what to expect. If he's four gating and he gets one sentry, just force fields you in his base with four gates of units, you're just gonna have so much harder time defending the four gate. And I knew I was ahead, so I just backed off.
Right. I I just thought
But
that quote
people
was
thought that was funny.
interesting from Liquipedia because I
Yeah,
watch your stream
those
frequently,
were
and it was
those were um those were put in by Mirhi, VT's manager. He just
oh.
put them in to joke at me. I'm pretty sure.
Well, that makes a lot more sense. So, like, normally you don't see you perform poorly on your stream or in tournaments. So, I'm glad we brought that up, and now people know if they ever go to your Liquipedia page.
Yeah, I might edit that just because it's dumb and it's past also. Um, I like to think I won't make those mistakes too often in the future.
Stuff happens though. You can only be perfect 90% of the time, and then you gotta screw up every once in a while. Now, let's see here. We're running out of questions here, so right now we're gonna dive into NASL. We saw your application video; it looked great, and from what you were saying earlier on your stream and in this interview, you don't think you're gonna get in the first season, but I guess you
Mhm.
plan on getting in later. And when you do get in, how well do you think you'll do in the NASL? I know there's gonna be a lot of big names in there, so.
My goal overall for the first 3 seasons of the NASL is make the top 16. If I were to make the top 16 once, I would be extremely satisfied. I feel like it's going to be awesome to watch either way. I really am excited for it. As I said, I don't expect to make it. To be honest, the qualifiers are probably harder to get in than the invites just because there's so many players who are not going to be able to get spots because 50 spots for the entire competitive community is just so ridiculously hard to get in. There are going to be so many good players playing these open tournaments to get in for the later seasons. But I definitely, that's in my current state. I feel like I'm definitely improving and could show good results in the future. But at this point, I don't think I'm there yet. I really am working hard to improve though.